to get people, I found out the way to get people to buy from you isn't by chasing them into a corner and then beating them into submission with every canned close you can come up with, but seducing them into buying you, honing in on what they want by identifying their emotional buy buttons and then carefully but very deliberately pressing them. Okay? It's not to, you get into the life insurance industry and the financial planning industry, which I was in, and their way of closing is, you practically smother somebody with closes, almost like clubbing them over the head. That's what it feels like. I hated that. But who wants to do that? No, you seduce them the same way you seduce a partner or a spouse or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, okay? And when you do this, when you seduce somebody, you don't force them. You don't make them feel awkward and frustrated. You create a burning desire inside them. Okay. Now they're chasing you. They want what you want. Okay. And you don't need to be a Rhodes Scholar to know if your client wants you more than you want them. You have total control over your business and over your life. Okay. And that's the secret to making money. That's the secret to making money systematically and reliably. Having people chase you down. Once I mastered this, I got myself quickly on my feet again financially, and for the first time in my life, I got to decide what I wanted to do instead of running around and reacting to worry about what I had to do, okay? I scrapped my old financial planning business. I started plugging away, and now I'm an author, a successful entrepreneur, one of the highest paid emotional direct response copywriters in the country. I own several different businesses in different industries. I have the #1 offline newsletter in the world. This is incorrect. It's read in 12 countries worldwide now. Seductive Selling, and I run 3 different coaching groups. And because being persuasive, especially in print, is impossible, I've boiled all these tricks and emotional hooks I've learned during this time into a unique selling system so powerful it lets you cut right through the clutter in your own prospects' lives, compelling them to take action now. Notice what I'm doing. I've built up, I took a storyline. It's almost like a song. You have a storyline, and then you throw on the details, and then you start speeding it up, and you come to this explosive conclusion, which is like the chorus in a song, okay? And now it explodes, and the goodness of it is, I'm going to give it to you. I took all this whole thing and packaged it and gave it to you. This is how it happened for me. This is where I started. This is what it did for me. It changed my life. Boom, and here it is. I'm giving it to you. Okay? A lot of people have problems with that transition. Okay? And there's many ways to do that. In this letter, the way I did it was I gave you the story, I showed you the benefit, and now I packaged it basically. It's very simple. This is the problem I had. This is how it changed my life. I've boxed it up, and now it's yours. Because you may have the same problem in your business, okay? Very simple. So again, there's many different ways to close. This is just one of them, but none of this would work without the fine details, the story, the lawyers, the ex-wives, the kids, the dogs, the problems in my business, clubbing people over the head, the frustration, the anxiety. Notice how all these things are emotions, okay? I call this system Seductive Selling System, and it condenses all the relationship skills I've developed from 42 years of attending the School of Hard Knocks and 17 years of in-the-field selling experience. I got to update that. That's 44 and 19, including all the clever marketing, sales, copy secrets I've used to sell millions of dollars of goods and services, polished to perfection over the last, it's actually 8 long, action-packed, and exciting years since I've been in this business. Now, you can listen to this. There's 5 fairly well-known marketers on here. You can do that. I'm not going to do that for you. The reason you have stuff like this, you see on the web, you could have multiple forms. This is where I start showing you social proof. So right away, I give you this system. I make the claims, but my claims are meaningless. But what others have to say is far more important. So right away, so you get hooked into this, I give you some social proof in the form of audio testimonials. Okay? This system uncovers not just one way to push your prospect's emotional buy button, not 10 ways, not even 20 different ways. There's all 47 emotional buy buttons of your prospects. In reality, there's actually 50 in the book, okay? But see what I do here is it's a buildup again. The opposite to this would be, look, this thing costs, it's not going to cost you $10,000. It's not going to cost you $8,000. It's not even going to cost you $5,000. In fact, it's not even going to cost you $1,000 to do this. So you're positioning people will you're giving people a frame of reference. When you give people a frame of reference, it allows them to come to their own conclusions. So it's important you set the first frame of reference in your favor. Well, here I'm setting the first frame of reference in my favor. It's not 1, it's not 10, it's not 20. I could have gone on. It's not 22, it's not 36, it's not even 41. It's 47. So you're escalating, you're piling on benefit after benefit after benefit after benefit. Once you get your arms around this information, you leverage this knowledge into almost forcing your prospects to buy from you at will in any given selling situation you may find yourself in, and no matter who you're selling to. See, once you understand how to seduce your prospects using the selling secrets inside this system, say that 5 times fast, you'll be luring one prospect after another into working with you. This almost trance-like, the same way Casanova seduced one woman after another into his bedroom. That's a good analogy in this case because it's called the seductive selling system. So you have a seductive analogy. Again, here's more social proof. This is Dwight Miller, super nice guy out of New Jersey, and he was kind enough to make a video and send it down here as a testimonial. This is the only skill you will ever need to master to make money. I will stand behind that 100%. Okay, if you can seduce your prospects, you can make money. Why? The answer is easy. You're dealing with human emotions, the same emotions that have prompted the same reactions in people since the dawning of time. You can go back to Napoleon Hill's book and read it. That was in 1921. What were the hot buttons? Love, sex, health, fitness, vanity. The same things that motivate people now. And once you understand when and how to appeal the right emotions, your ability to sell goes up dramatically and immediately. Again, this is the emotional hook. This is the logical hook that clinches it. Okay? It's very important. If you're going to have an emotional thing in there, oftentimes you want to back it up and justify it with logic. Okay? The secrets inside the seductive selling system really are that powerful and that essential. In fact, I'll make a very bold statement and say if you cannot use them, you will never succeed in selling the way you want to. It really is just as simple as that, and I will stand by that statement now. If you cannot push your prospects' emotional buy buttons, you will never succeed in selling the way you want to. I should highlight this and bold it and circle it. They shortcut years of wondering, of almost getting it right, and they let you bypass a ton of painful mistakes you're going to be making. I'll tell you right now, that's true because I made them all. Okay, I left the brochures, I made the multiple phone calls, I chased down people, and you know what I got for it? Nothing. I got frustrated. Yeah, I had a couple of hits, but that was because I was obsessive about follow-up, okay? But now I don't follow up. I let people follow up with me, and I give them ways of following up that they don't think I'm hitting on them. It's like a woman, the woman who's going to be attracted to you, it's not because you drove her crazy. I mean, you see that on TV once in a while, but most of the time, it's not, you're not going to drive someone nuts and then they'll finally, quote, break down. They'll call you a stalker. If they're not interested, they're not interested. But if you can lure them and then get them interested in you, then you have a happy relationship, or a happy beginning anyway. Most of the time advertising fails and you fall flat on your face when you use it because it does not tap into the most valuable aspects your prospects have, and that is their emotions, their wants. Most marketing falls so shy of the mark when it comes to this, it's not even funny. In fact, if you ever wish for the ability to get inside your prospects' minds and tell them exactly what they wanted to hear, this system gives you these powers. So here's a couple of typical ads. You see the law office, you see the animal clinic. These are big business cards. And I put these in here to show you because that's what they are. They're not going to be effective. I shudder to think how much money these unknowing but probably very honest and hardworking victims have completely blown running these ads. These ads are utterly useless, lifeless, and a complete waste of money. They are as compelling as a small soap dish and will generate as much business for you as the Easter Bunny will. They are useless. These are the kinds of ads you see all the time. Now compare this to an ad I wrote for a very mundane business, which is the bug business, okay? And you read through this ad. I'm not going to take you through it now. I can do another hour critique just on this ad, okay? And you will see how I took something that's completely mundane and turbocharged it using emotions, okay? And this ad actually, I think, was pulled a 12-to-1 return, to triple the guys, or 10 times the guy's business or something like that. I have it in another testimonial somewhere on my website. Okay. Point is, there's obviously a dramatic difference between these ads.